I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this week, another rewind. Trouble Girl is off to Stuart Ross, a very amazing award-winning poet and writer. I'm super stoked that he's editing it for me. I've organized my and my coworkers' ideas for the 9-year-old CEO. Next is deciding what goes into the Crash of Santa game and what is saved for another adventure. In the meantime, I pulled up Low Self-Esteem Reading Room, aka Loser, the first project I wrote when I started writing about 10 years ago. I think it's a poetry book. The question I have for you is, what themes do you see emerging? Forward. The Low Self-Esteem Reading Room is a book created from a bunch of parts I had lying around. It's like a Burning Man sculpture or a failed art school project. It's brilliant. It's insane. It's innovative. It's what the fuck. I guess I'm not the one to answer what it is. You are, dear reader. There's some method to my madness. Even though I used a bunch of parts I had lying around, I did create new parts to bring them all together, and didn't use all the parts I had. I used a plan and a philosophy. I wanted to write a non-linear narrative that would mirror my feminine, low-income gatherer as opposed to hunter, holistic as opposed to specialized and goal-oriented experience of life. It physically hurts to write this, but I also wanted to capture acceptance, or someone trying really hard to accept, because as we know, fighting isn't ladylike. Let it be known that I did fight a lot. And when that didn't work, I tried acceptance, change from within, and all that. If you have nothing to lose, but also nothing to gain because you will never matter, your life becomes open for experimentation. You can write, sing, act, draw, dance, knowing none of it matters. In doing so, you realize that achievement is chimera. The women, the slaves, the exploited. These people are never counted among the heroes. Yet without these people, the heroes don't exist. Heroes are thieves. Don't be a hero. Non-linear gatherer, I hope you see yourself in this work, whether you are male, female, something in between, or even something completely different, but alive and cognizant. Low Self-Esteem Reading Room. There's images in the book. I'll figure out a way to include them. Fuck, fuck, fuck. This is so, puts down head, takes deep breaths, talks quickly. I started this project called The Anti-Book. I wanted to write a novel. No, I wanted to write something. I was angry, didn't know how to deal with it. Oh, God, it feels better. Look, he says, gazing around the audience. I can't read this to you. Looks down, mumbles. Please regard the PowerPoint screen behind me. And the PowerPoint screen says, Anti-Book. 1-sentence summary. The Anti-Book covers 2 years in the life of a man as he loses his sanity. Longer summary. 1. What is an anti-book? 2. Why am I writing it? 3. Question mark. Materials. 1. Anti-book journaling. 2. Frog-style posts, including Chernobyl story. 3. Stuff I read at Purple Thistle. 4. Purple Thistle writing workshops, much in longhand. 5. Tech blog posts. 6. Videos. 7. Shamanic journeying stuff. 8. Uber babe, pigeon, and sad Letty posts. God, I wish I could disappear. Crisis. I have no idea how to continue. I need a crisis. Sunday, 9:34 p.m. May Legboren. My subconscious. It's become an office. Drugs. The young man sweats profusely. People in the audience glance at each other and smile uncomfortably. Is the young man on drugs? This says beginning number 2 because after I started this project, my brother agreed to help. He wrote the first beginning, but he didn't want to come tonight. The man looks around and clears his throat before beginning to read. Little pile of hair. Scene 1. Woman, about 50, twists hair around her finger, twirling and pulling. Pop, it comes out. She drops it distractedly on a growing pile beside her. I have nothing. I mean, I have a house and a husband, if he counts. I have clothes. I can't believe they fired me. Drinking? Who doesn't drink? Hypocrites. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. Woman grabs her glass and downs what's left in it. Liars. They were all my friends when I was making them money. They were all my friends when I gave them tables, when I picked up the tab. Liars. Cowards. Oh, how they ran when it came time to defend me. Oh, how they ran when it was their turn to help. Woman looks around room, head bobbing. Arnie! Arnie! A short pause before a small, bald man opens the door to her room. His worried face peeks in. Yes, he says. Are you okay? I want another drink! Don't you? Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! He looks away, sweat forming on his forehead. Shit! The woman sits up, tries to push her bed covers away, gets caught in them, and falls face first on the floor. Naomi! The man rushes to the woman. Leave me alone! Leave me the fuck alone! Naomi collapses, half wailing, half moaning, until she's just hiccuping, petting her little pile of hair. End scene 1. Naomi's diary. Add date here. I suppose that is why we have literature, art, and music. Sport even. Film. Video games. Yeah, video games. Newest art form, dominated by young men. Realm of the most violent, misogynist, politically incorrect fantasy. A world cut off from young women, especially those traditionally raised who are left to fester in their unexpressed anger and energy, turning inward, inward, inward. Women who are supposed to be Madonnas and saints falling downwards into the lightest, darkest, largest, smallest, emptiest, crowdedest, loudest, silentest places. Where all births are stillborn, where stillborns birth monsters. Fetuses with adult skin and snake eyes, leering, cross-eyed, hungry, forced to eat themselves until a new monster is birthed, which they will eat unless it can escape to begin its own cycle of death, birth, hate, murder, rape, assault. Horrible crimes, right? But suicide? We don't even think of it as a crime. I suppose if someone is intent on murdering themselves, it's pretty hard to prevent. War, where all of these crimes come together and breed. Military guards force-feeding prisoners of and not of war. People who would starve themselves to death if they could. Heavy metal music night and day. Constant light and being forced to stay awake for weeks at a time, then being thrown into solitary with no light, sound, or space to move for an equal set of weeks or more. You're rolling your eyes now, aren't you? I'm your annoying emo friend. I remember Marley, my friend's roommate from Edmonton, arrogant, affected, the kind of asshole who'd write a book called The Anti-Book. Shit. I just broke character, didn't I? Oh, I know. Chin up, look on the bright side, count your blessings. Narrator stops reading and looks directly at the reader. Let's be real. You don't really want to help. You want me to help you be comfortable. You don't care if I die. That would be preferable to me killing you or my sister, mother, or child, or even to me living beside you in squalor and depression. Your caring is about you. Your caring is about tending God's garden, which is really your garden. For what is God but a justification, or rather, a man with a big stick to help you get your way? Narrator looks away, mumbling. Good people tell each other beautiful lies and prop each other up, up, up the socio-economic ladder. They live in bubbles. Narrator looks at reader again. Who wants to hear the story of a child who kills children, or the mother who eats her young? Who wouldn't prefer the beautiful princess and dashing prince? The princess or prince who end up rich or richer with social status increased. Who wants to hear about places where men called generals rip the hearts out of babies and share them among 12-year-old soldiers? Who wants to hear about rape babies born with AIDS? Prostitutes? Mothers, really. Mothers attempting to look after their young, fucking their way through a short life like fruit flies of the human race. And then there's me, Naomi. This next bit is in a gray text. The only reason I'm saying any of this is to attack the people who look distractedly, pityingly at me. Because I don't have a nice house. Because my manners are rough. Because I don't have the right stories to tell. Stories of summers spent at the cottage or abroad. Stories about piano lessons or dance. Stories that would place me in their class. I have white skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes. As long as I don't tell my story, I can stay for breeding. And Naomi's diary, add date here. Thank you very much.